Today on ACE TV, we're featuring a creative skit called Velcro, dealing with asexuality, aromanticism, and relationship issues to help illustrate some of these ideas. The characters and relationships in this skit are fictional. Oh my god.
She's the cutest cat ever.
Yeah, right?
Oh wow. Look at that box.
Were you just trying to kiss me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Was that not okay? I feel like I just sort of got caught up in the moment. You're right, that wasn't okay.
No, it's not that. It's just you caught me by surprise. I don't really think I would have expected us to do that.
I guess we've just been getting really close lately, and I know we've been friends for a long time now. But I guess I was just wondering, are we still just friends?
I have no idea. In a similar way to how people might experience sexual attraction or have sexual orientations, people often also experience romantic attraction and have romantic orientations. Having a crush on someone is romantic, but not necessarily sexual. Romantic orientation describes how people experience romantic attraction to people of particular genders. And then she tried to kiss me.
But she knows you're ace, right?
Well, yeah, but just because I'm ace doesn't mean I can't kiss people.
Of course not. I was just wondering because I would have thought that would be something that would cross her mind, but maybe not. So, you don't mind kissing her?
I kiss lots of people. My mom, my aunts, my little cousins, my dog. And I don't mind kissing them, but I guess this might be different.
Do you want to be in a relationship like that with them? With her?
Sexual? Definitely not. I don't think I could do the whole sexual compromise thing. Romantic? I have absolutely no idea. We've been friends since high school. We're really close. We've always been close. It's just now things are weird and complicated.
No, I definitely understand. Relationships can be tricky to navigate no matter who you are or what kind of relationship.
You're in a romantic relationship. How have you got it to work?
Well, I think there's a way bigger conversation to be had about mixed ace, non-ace dating relationships. But my boyfriend and I care about each other a lot, and we talk about a lot of stuff, like boundaries and safety and moving through the world. I mean, I'm mostly indifferent to the whole sex thing, but we've decided for now that we're just gonna not do that. And he's okay with that. He's okay with having a no-sex romantic relationship. But we continue to have lots of conversations about it. It's not something you or anyone else should be expecting themselves to achieve at any point, if it's something you don't want to or you feel conflicted about.
Well, I mean, you've got a point there.
So, does kissing feel like something sexual to you?
No, I don't think so anyways. I never really had to think about that, I guess. But I guess kissing can be sexual?
It can be, but it can really depend on the situation and how the people involved feel. Do you have any idea how she feels about this whole thing?
Well, we haven't really talked much as of late, and any sort of conversations we have had, we've sort of been avoiding the whole thing.
Well, what about romance? Do you have romantic feelings for her?
I don't know.
Well, what's sexual and what's romantic can look different to different people. You should definitely talk to her about it. There are a lot of ways of being close with someone and doing relationships that aren't necessarily romantic or sexual. For example, we talk about queer-platonic or quirky platonic partnerships, which are important non-romantic relationships that don't fit into the ways people usually talk about relationships. Those might be friendships, but if you use the word friend, that doesn't really express it properly. These are intimate relationships, intimate partnerships. They're just not romantic. And hey, I'm here if you need support too.
Thanks, that sounds really awesome actually.
Would you like me to talk to them first about this?
Sure. A relationship is a broad term to describe how two or more people are connected to each other and interact. There are many different kinds of relationships. There are many ways of doing intimacy or having close relationships. Friendships and romantic relationships are two kinds of relationships, but they're not the only kind. People can also do non-romantic, intimate relationships that aren't described very well by friendship or even the best friend label. In all kinds of relationships, people need to set boundaries and agree about what kinds of touch in the relationships will include. For example, do they hug? Do they kiss? Do they even talk on the phone late at night? And what do they expect from each other? For example, how much time do they spend together? Will they make any promises or commitments? And if so, what kind? Do they go to family events together? People don't always talk about these things directly, but talking about them can be very helpful. It's important that people in relationships agree about what they're doing together and what they want to agree to. Nobody should feel pressured to do anything. People need to know what themselves and others are okay with and what they're not, and need to respect other people's boundaries. Consent is important all the time. It's not just important when it comes to sex.
And then I made a move on them. It was pretty silly of me to even try something like that. I honestly can't even think of why I did. I know they're ace too.
Well, have you talked to them about that? What kissing means to them, that is?
No, it's just after that, and now I'm just thinking about how we talked about asexuality, and they didn't have all the answers themselves because they're still sorting out what being asexual means to them. And romantic attraction is confusing for them. But I tried looking into stuff myself, and I should have known better.
Well, kissing isn't necessarily a sexual or a romantic thing. Of course, to some people it can be, but it isn't to everyone.
Well, I guess to me it sort of is then.
And that's fine. But it's definitely something that you two need to talk about with each other.
I wish this wasn't so awkward.
Sometimes things need to be awkward. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but that's a part of unlearning and learning and working through stuff.
I guess. Hey, thanks for doing this.
No problem.
So, how did you find talking with Lammy?
Well, Dorian, I actually found it very informative, and I think there are a few things we should talk about.
Definitely. I heard about queer platonic partners? Maybe that sounds like something we can do?
What does that mean?
Well, it's like more than a friendship, but like not necessarily romantic. I like you, but I don't really know how to sort out these feelings, and I'm not quite sure if they're romantic feelings. So maybe right now, that's something we can do? Queer platonic, or QP partnerships, are intimate relationships that are not romantic relationships. But they're also not relationships that the term friendship would describe very well. Friendship is a very broad relationship category, and QP partnerships might be particularly intense, non-normative kinds of friendships. A QP partner is also sometimes called a zucchini, like the vegetable, because we have a sense of humor about our terminology.
Because there seems to be more going on than there was when we were just friends.
Definitely.
Are you good with holding hands?
Yeah, I can hold hands.
I'm glad we got to talk about this.
Me too. In any kind of relationship, it is important to have conversation about boundaries, consent, and different kinds of touch. Check in with yourself and others about what feels okay for you and them.
Find out more information about ACE Toronto online at acetoronto.wordpress.com or follow us on Tumblr at ace-toronto@tumblr.com.